Hey guys, welcome aboard, welcome back, welcome home. As always, completely and totally dependent on where you happen to be in relation to this channel, these energies, this week, these messages, all of the above, and then some. We're talking about what's up for the week of June 27th through July 3rd, 2022. This week is a week about truth. Yeah, truth. And it doesn't really matter, right, whether we're going to call it hard truth, brutal truth, painful truth, naked truth. You can't handle the truth. Ain't that the truth, right? The gospel truth. It doesn't matter. This week, here, I'll just belabor the metaphor and say truth will be self-evident. Right. Okay. Let's get going. So on Monday, the 27th, the moon is in Gemini, and we have the moon conjunct Mercury, and then sextiling Chiron. And then that Mercury and Chiron sextile one another. Dun, da, da, da. Right. About dinner time, Mars in Aries, always exciting, will sextile Saturn, which is retrograding and still in Aquarius, where he's been for a very long time. And then the moon will trine that Saturn, right? So we have a lot of like circling back on itself aspecting going on. And then the moon sextiles Mars, right? Literally, we have like a little community of aspectors. And then the moon in Gemini squares Neptune as you're going to go to bed, right? So look, here's the deal. We're talking about Mercury, Chiron, the moon, Mars, Saturn. So pay attention. What you say versus what you do needs to be your focus, right? Mind, of course, you'll get shit done. Wherever Mercury or wherever Saturn is involved, we definitely want to mind our getting shit done, right? Mind your actions. Allow your actions to speak for you, to be your communication. And here's the deal. As you go to bed and the moon squares Neptune, preload your dream time, right? You're going to have some serious access in a way that you might not have for a while. So preload your dream time on Monday night. Hear me? Preload your dream time and then buckle up, because on Tuesday, early in the morning, right, we have that Gemini moon in direct Pluto. So you might be getting some interesting staticky kind of messages. But then at 2:55 a.m. Central Time, Neptune is going to go direct. Now that is a whole other video, and we'll talk about that. But that's a big deal. And then by breakfast, the moon moves into Cancer and then squares Jupiter. Very exciting. And then we have a new moon that evening, right? So new moons, of course, are when the moon and sun are conjunct in Cancer, 7 degrees of Cancer. And then Venus in Gemini will sextile Jupiter in Aries, right? So it's a feelers out kind of day. Here's the key. Do not doubt your messaging. Don't doubt whatever you preloaded in that Monday night dream time. Don't doubt your messaging, right? Clarity, clarity, clarity. As you gain clarity, you're literally going to become naturally far more magnetic to your heart space. Right? We've got the moon and the sun squaring Jupiter. So this is cardinal energy, right? So whatever it is that you want, you're going to get it. It's going to show up. It's going to show up deep and wide and big. And it's a day of scrutiny of your feelings, right? That doesn't mean judgment. It just means scrutiny, which is exploration. And then in the evening, after that new moon, when Venus sextiles Jupiter, big feelings, right? You're going to have awareness and access to how you feel about how you feel. Does that make sense? How you feel about how you feel. How you feel about what you've been doing to create your sense of home. How you've been either pursuing it or rejecting it, right? How you've been calling it to you, inviting your future, your sense of home to be more part of your life. And by that, we talk about the present, right? Not just the future, because we're creating in the present. Future doesn't matter, only where you are right now, who you are right now, what you are right now, right? That is your home. So if that is incongruent with what you wish it to be, it is your responsibility to create new intentions, new habits, new routines, new limits, boundaries, and restrictions that are going to create that conduit. Call in that container for yourself. On Wednesday, the Cancer Moon squares Chiron in Aries and sextiles Uranus. So this is a day for all the feels and healing energy, right? Whether you've swept it under the rug or you choose to sweep it up today, my best inference for Wednesday, the 29th, is clean up your business, right? You're going to want to be up in your feels, right? You might be tempted to do some kind of rash or reactive nonsensy behavior, right? So hopefully you have done your homework, right? You hear what I'm doing there? Your homework, because this is about really discovering where your pieces are missing and what you need to do to create those foundational blocks. And by block, I mean construction material, not challenge or something that's in your way. So on Wednesday, whether or not you're sweeping a thing under the rug or sweeping it up, it doesn't matter. Clean up your business, right? We've got the moon squaring Chiron and then sextiling Uranus. This is big time for cleaning. You can if you're not reacting. So just mind your motivation. On Thursday, the moon is indirect, Saturn in retrograde. The moon trines Neptune in retrograde, squares Mars, and then opposes Pluto in retrograde. That is a busy kind of day for that Cancer moon. And then in the evening, she taps out and gives way to Leo as a moon sign, right? Right. So here's the thing. We've got a Pluto opposite moon squaring Mars. Did you hear me? Pluto opposite the moon squaring Mars. Here's the deal. Whatever you left out in the yard yesterday, whatever you did not clean up, right? We talk about Saturn as being that energy of anything you leave out in the yard, Saturn can use against you. This is why we cleaned up the yard on Wednesday. So if you need to make a note of that, please, by all means, go right ahead and do that. Because here's the deal. We are going to potentially feel a little bit explosive emotionally, right? So you might either do some really impulsive, that's a great word for that, reactionary, yes, volatile behavior, right? Or you might feel like you can't do anything. Either way, you're smoldering, right? All the way down to your soul. All the way down to your soul. This day is a challenge to turn inward and mind your business, mind your motivation, mind your action, mind your mouth, mind your function, mind where you're going, and how you plan to get there. Right, and once that moon moves into Leo, 7:40 p.m. Central Time, yeah, your level of control may become thin. So it's probably a good idea to really sit with yourself on Thursday and keep your potential for life-altering reactivity to a minimum, right? Never a bad idea. Friday, the 1st of July, the Leo moon, right, trines Jupiter in Aries, sextiles Venus in Gemini, and then Mars squares Pluto. Exactly, right? So you can be in yourself, you can be in your feels, you can feel very, very confident. But the evening is going to bring kind of an alarming awareness to your get shit done plans, right? So whatever you have been in the process of transforming or renewing or rebirthing, right, is up for reevaluation. The way that you are moving through the world needs to be evaluated, right? That doesn't mean it's wrong. It does not mean it's wrong. You're always in the perfect place. But it means that from time to time, the cosmos says, hey, you sure that's where you want to be? You sure that's where you're going? So today is one of those days. So that square energy, right? Pluto squaring Mars creates a dynamic tension. We've talked about this before. You have an opportunity, right, to witness the energy on both sides of that square, right? So the thing is, if we're talking about Mars and we're talking about Pluto, we're not just talking about how you put something out into the world. We're talking about how you put it out into the world from the depths of your soul. Right, and with Pluto in retrograde, that is highlighted, amplified, and super, super potent, right? So take the time, right, to pay attention to where you are in relation to what your highest vision might be, and begin to find the answers to how to get your actions in alignment, right, with the solution to how you get from A to B, while holding space for that yet, knowing that every step is perfect. And just because you're not exactly there doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. You're never doing it wrong, right? You're never doing it wrong. You're just doing the best that you can at the moment that you're doing it. So stay in that lane, stay in your awareness, stay in your own alignment with where your true north is. Doesn't matter where anybody else's is, only yours. Carry that confidence, but perhaps temper it, right? Temper it with a little bit of that awareness of what home is and how you want to get there. On Saturday the 2nd, the Leo moon squares Chiron, and then Mercury in Gemini trines Saturn, that is retrograding in Aquarius. Then that beautiful Leo moon opposes Saturn, retrograding in Aquarius. And then we have a moon indirect to Neptune, also retrograde, and then a moon sextile to Mercury. So look, this is no illusions, right? This is what we're leading up to. This is a come to Jesus day, right? You can plague yourself with coulda, woulda, shoulda. You can. And the thing is, you might feel that way. You might have some regrets. You might. Yeah. You might have some regrets. It's okay to have regrets, right? That's how we learn. Gosh, I wish I would have done it this way. So we learn where our trajectory is in the future. Right? That's okay. That's okay. Dig into those feelings. Again, feel how you feel about your feelings. And dig into the clarity, right? That really every step is perfect. You can't do it wrong. You can't. And you're always available to be in touch with your highest and best. Always, always, always. So every step is perfect. Even when you have that coulda, woulda, shoulda. And really, this Neptune in retrograde is going to really allow you to find that clarity on a level you may not have been able to notice before. On Sunday, we have a Leo moon that is indirect Pluto in retrograde, early overnight, trining Mars, right? And then the moon moves into Virgo. Wow, that's going to be interesting. And then Mercury will be indirect Pluto. And then the Virgo moon is indirect Jupiter. Okay. So early in the beginning of Sunday, the dream time, right? Virgo moon is going to come in and clear out anything that you didn't catch hold of on Wednesday. The Virgo moon is going to clean it up and fast because that is her nature, right? But the dissatisfaction, the disorientation you may have been carrying this week, it might be lingering, right? There might be some kind of energy of secrets or broken promises, and they might hit you really, really hard on Sunday. Here's the deal. It might be unexpected. It might pop up out of nowhere, and it might ripple into all directions, through all the fields, through all the dimensions of your life. Find a way to pay attention to any area of dissatisfaction and utilize it to learn something about what creates satisfaction for you, right? Use the levels of disorientation to find the things that will orient and align you. Allow those awarenesses of where the out of alignment is to help you shift and change back toward alignment, right? We talked about this as being a week of truth. That is no lie, right? The truth cannot be hidden. It cannot be bent. It cannot be stretched, right? Yeah, this is a week of not truth or dare, but truth and dare, right? Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about it. Monday, we've got the Queen of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands. Okay, so we talked about this as the day of what you say versus what you do. Absolutely, absolutely. What you say versus what you do. So 10 of Wands is a card of overwhelming passion. I have so many things that I want to do, so many places that I want to be in action, so many things that I've committed to. And boy, they're really heavy. And I'm getting tired of carrying them. So the Queen of Pentacles, right? She understands I have plenty of resource, right? I don't need to be concerned with any extras because I understand how to utilize my resources perfectly. I understand when and where to say no. I understand when and where to dive in, right? If this is your issue, it's time to prioritize your own resourcedness, right? Mind your getting shit done. Let your actions speak for you, right? Not just your passion, but let your actions speak for you. It's not about what you commit to, it's what you're able to accomplish. And you are the only person who can judge or value your accomplishments. So put down what you need to put down, knowing that you can always pick it up later, or not, or not. Yeah. On Tuesday, we have Justice. We've got the 6 of Cups, right? So Justice is the Libra major arcana. It's about balance and harmony. It's about where you are on that polarity, right? The ins and outs, the ups and downs, and how you hold space as the balance for that, for those scales within that spectrum of anything. And then we've got 6 of Cups, right? This is all about unconditional love. It's about nostalgia. We talked about this as a day of having your feelers out and not doubting your messaging, right? Neptune goes retrograde. The moon moves into Cancer, and we have a 7-degree Cancer new moon. We also have the moon and the sun squaring Jupiter. So where are you in alignment with what feels like unconditional love? And where are you out of balance with that? Where are you out of balance with that? Again, we talked about this as being cardinal energy. So this is big, this is personal, this is active, this is leading, right? So the way that you're creating this balance or allowing the imbalance, right, is all about how you're available to clarity. All about how you're available to clarity. How you believe you are worth, how you believe you are available to balance and claim unconditional love, right? That's up to you. That's up to you. No one can do that for you. You've got to do that one on your own. And with Venus sextiling Jupiter in Gemini and Aries, do not Going right back. Don't second guess yourself. Don't don't be hypercritical about it, right? Don't. 7 of Cancer, new moon. Intend what you want. Find your sense of home and then build out from there. On Wednesday, sweeping, right? This is our day of sweeping, which is perfect. Look, we've got the Hierophant and the 4 of Pentacles. So the Hierophant is about tradition and dogma and why we believe what we believe and how we were taught to believe it and whether or not we're open to self-examination or the examination of our belief structure and constructs, right? And then the 4 of Pentacles is let me hold on to it. Let me hold on right here, right? This is about conservation. It's about scarcity. It's about just this is what I have and I can't lose it. I can't lose it. I can't lose it. We talked about this as being the day of sweeping it under the rug or sweeping it up. One of the two. Clean up your business, right? A day that you might be all up in your feels and feel compelled to do some rash, reactive, active business. So the question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to do it? Or are you going to do your homework and discover where and what you're missing? Well, that's up to you. The thing about the Hierophant is that you're always the key, right? Your evaluation system is always the key. Does it align with where I'm going? Does it align with my truth, right? Or am I holding on to it because someone told me I had to? That's the question. You're going to discover what you're missing. And then you have to choose, what am I going to do about it? So on Thursday, gorgeous. Again, we've got the Queen of Pentacles for a second time and the Ace of Swords. So here's the deal. This is what we talked about as being a day for this explosive emotionality, right? You either may feel like you want to do something crazy or like you can't do anything. But we talked about this as being a day of smoldering, right? All the way down to your soul. This Cancer moon, right, is going to ask you to be self-protective, to be mindful of that sense of home, to be delving and diving into things like where are you nurtured? Where do you feel most loved, right? Where is your base of operations? You might come up against a new idea today. The universe might hand you an awareness that really triggers you. So again, you have an opportunity to be in your own business, to understand that what you're doing might not, right? We might have this overcommitment. We might have this commitment to something that is no longer serving, but you are your resource. So if you have an idea, within that idea is the solution. Within the question is the answer. So you are available to witness what have I left out in the yard, right? You might get a great new insight on how or what or where you are spending your efforts. And it's up to you then to decide how to put your resources into action that serves you, right? Not proper action, but action that serves you best. On Friday, 6 of Swords, Hanged Man. Okay, so 6 of Swords is a card of transition, right? This is moving from emotional turbulence to emotional stability. And it's done through moving through your own ideas, right? So whatever comes in for you on Thursday, this idea may spark a way for you to move through. Now, here's the deal. Hanged Man is a beautiful card. It can be about enlightenment. It can be about suspended animation. It can be about evaluation. It can be about really, really aligning yourself with that, that higher divine purpose behind something and allowing divine timing to take over, right? So here's the deal. If you're feeling like you know you need to transition and move towards something else, we talked about that Pluto-Mars square, right? Utilizing both sides of that square to dig into your soul and find the answers, to find that new solution, and then to be available to a reevaluation, right? If you know where you need to go, you can always ask for the answer to how to get there 100%. And by the way, you'll always get the answer. Look, we've got the Four of Pentacles again. So this is a day we talked about having that like no illusions, right? Coulda, shoulda, woulda day. And really finding a way to feel your feelings and to dig into that clarity that every step is perfect. So we've got the Four of Pentacles, right? Holding on, contracted energy. And then we've got the King of Swords. Now the King of Swords, again, this is about ideas. But perhaps we're learning something with these swords this week, right? Perhaps we're learning something with this Ace of Swords. We've brought in a new idea that's allowed us to shift and change our ideas to be more in alignment with our own divine plan, right? So perhaps there's a way to release that coulda, shoulda, woulda simply by noting something about this new idea, right? What I love about swords is that all over the swords cards, there are butterflies indicating that transformation happens through your ideas, right? Transformation first is an ideological process. You must know that you have to change something, right? You have to learn that you have to change something in order for you to move through anything. Otherwise, there's no impetus, there's no catalyst for motion. So if you know that you're holding on to something or someone or an idea that needs to go, this is your day, right? Come to Jesus. No illusions, right? Don't plague yourself into immobility. On Sunday, we've got the Seven of Swords and the Star. We talked about this as being the day when we might be witness to our dissatisfaction. We might be witness to our own disorientation. We might have secrets, broken promises, right? And they might ripple through your entire field of consciousness on every level, on every plane. Seven of Swords is 100% self-deception. This is deception, it's trickery, it's sneakiness, right? And then we've got the Star, right? This is cosmic planning, cosmic fulfillment. This is the universe handing you something, always, always, always. It's hope, it's renewal. In the tarot, in the majors, this Star comes right after the Tower, right? So what you destroy, what you shift, what you change in your life, what you tear apart, this is the universe handing you the beautiful energy, the will, the motivation. It's like the universe coming and kissing you on the forehead and saying, you know what, it's okay. You can rebuild. You will rebuild it, and I will help you, right? This is that the universe loves a dedicated heart, right? So after you know where you're bullshitting yourself, after you find your own secrets, broken promises, or those of someone who it was in your sphere, after you find those places where you're dissatisfied or disoriented, then the Star is going to come in and show you, yes, okay, we might have all of this issue, but we can fix it. You can fix it. Amor Fati. The reason that I love this card for this week is that Amor Fati for me is about loving your life, right? That's what it means. Love your fate. But the interpretation that I love is that you have to love your life in its totality, right? You have to love it through every polarity, right? The up, the down. The good, the bad, right? Air quoting, good and bad. There isn't. There's only judgment and perspective. There's only perception, right? There's only the word good and bad. Each experience is just your experience. And you have to love it all for what it brought you and where it brought you and who it led you to become. That's why I love this card so very much. And I like it that, yeah, I love it that it shows up here. So we've got this number 15. This is the, I love this deck. Let's see what she's got to say, shall we? All right. Beautiful. So this is a card that says farewells, goodbyes, and closure. Forever and forever. Farewell, Cassius. If we do meet again, why, we shall smile. If not, why then this parting was well made. Of course, Shakespeare, right, from Julius Caesar. This card portrays a farewell, which might be a final parting or a temporary goodbye. A tragic loss or simply a turned page could be leading to a new future. A woman's sober expression gives us no clue as to the content of her envelope. A farewell message? Yes, but one received or given? The rose suggests a possible lover's separation, but is it a final goodbye or a temporary one until next time? Either way, as an airport scene will demonstrate, departure lounges tend to be sadder than arrivals. The birds flying back in the background suggest that a return is in the future. Our lives are a constant flow of farewells to people, to places, and to things, some with regret, but some with enthusiasm as they are replaced with new options. We started this week talking about regrets, right? We talked about coulda, shoulda, woulda. We talked about evaluations. We talked about feeling pent up, right? We talked about the truth. You can't handle the truth, right? Truth is stranger than fiction. The truth will set you free, right? And really, the truth is self-evident. Right? We know our own truth. We always know. And no matter what happens, the universe always has your back. The universe always has your back. So do you. We will talk about Neptune moving into retrograde, and we will talk about the new moon. They will probably be two separate conversations because both of them deserve their own airtime. But this week, be patient, be mindful, be present. Temper your thoughts, temper your behavior, always seek the lesson, seek the clarity, and as Neptune moves retrograde, you will have more clarity. So please remember that and work with it this week as you move through. I don't even want to call them challenging. They're just really bold energies. So big blessings and big love.